Hi, all. I want to walk you through this question here that's asking something similar to what a program would ask about steps that you take. So lots of things have these programs. Some phones have a health app that tracks the steps you take. A lot of devices or watches that people can wear track steps that you take. And this question is looking at how does time that I walk affect the number of steps that I take? So if you walk 10 minutes, you'll walk a certain number of steps. What if you double that to 20 minutes? How will that affect the number of steps that I take? And devices such as your health app or a Fitbit app or watch, that's exactly the question that they ask also. So I want you to pause for a minute and look at the graph. Look at the label on the x-axis and then look at the label on the y-axis. Okay, the first question that we're going to answer is this one right here. Why would we be more confident in a prediction at 200 seconds than at 300 seconds? So you're going to use your confidence rubric to help you with this question. If you don't have a confidence rubric, I have one here on this slide, and you can pause the video now to take a closer look at it. So remember that on a confidence matrix, we're looking at how closely the line goes through the dots and also how close the predicted value is to the data. So let's go back to this graph and look at those two things. How closely does the line go through the dots? And if we are at 200 seconds versus 300 seconds, how would that change our confidence level? So make a decision and write that decision in this blank. How would changing between 200 seconds and 300 seconds affect your confidence level? Pause the video now and write your answer down. Our next question that we look at is right here. What does the rate of change communicate to us? So when we're talking rate of change, it's how if we take 100 seconds, how many steps we take in 100 seconds, and then if we double that to 200, how many steps we take in those 200 seconds. So does changing the time affect the steps? Does changing the time always affect the steps you take the same? Or does changing the time affect the steps you take differently? So go ahead and pause the video and answer that question. Does time change and steps change always remain consistent or not? Okay, lastly, we want to look at the Y-intercept. I seem to have lost my pen here. Maybe if I change color, it'll help. Nope. Okay, so the Y-intercept is where we are, where this green line crosses the axis, the y-axis, which is the up and down axis. So notice the green line is not going through 0. It's not going through the very, very bottom of that up and down axis. The green line is kind of hitting that axis at around 50. So what does that communicate to us? When time is 0, are we at 0 steps? Or when time is 0, do we already have steps taken? And what does that mean? What would that look like if you were on your walk? What would that look like if you were counting steps on your Fitbit? So go ahead and try to write down a sentence for that. What does that mean if your time is at 0 and your watch has recorded 50 steps? Write that here at the bottom and you are done. Good job, you guys.